Hi, I'm Adam and welcome to Filmora. Together with Filmora, we're creating a series to inspire and teach all aspects of creating exciting travel videos. Throughout this series, we will cover everything from planning, filming techniques, storytelling, interactions, advanced editing techniques, and analyzing your performance to continue to improve. I am a full-time traveler, filmmaker, and YouTuber. For the past 7 years, I've been making videos to document my travels, and for the last 4 years, this has been how I make a living. I have taken over 50 international trips. I now live in Bangkok, and I'm constantly traveling throughout Thailand. Traveling gives me a sense of adventure and freedom, and I love to share that in my films. Okay, let's get into preparing for a travel shoot, because before you even press record, planning is key. So here's how to set yourself up for success. Okay, let's talk about preparation. When making a travel video, it's really important that you plan the basics. Where will you be going? How will you get there? And what is a good storyline that will showcase this adventure? I believe that you shouldn't overplan and be open to spontaneous decisions and activities. This can completely change your video narrative in a positive way. And I find that if everything is scripted and planned, it doesn't leave any room for any cool opportunities that may be presented to you. When it comes to transport and logistics, it's always good to plan. Something like a missed ferry can ruin your entire day. A cool tip for this is you can share the websites that you use for booking all these places in your video. And a lot of these websites even have affiliate programs like the booking sites. And if people use your link, you can actually earn money from this. The basic principles of travel video filmmaking. There are two essential principles that we will focus on here. First up is storyline, and this is the most important element in making travel videos. How do you keep the viewer hooked throughout your entire video? A traditional storyline is your basic 3-act narrative. There is a setup, a conflict, and a resolution. It is important to shape your video where there's a reward at the end of the video. This will keep the viewer hooked and engaged all the way throughout just to see that reward at the end. A classic example of this could be the setup is explaining where you are and where you plan to be going. Then for the conflict, saying something early in the video like, I want to go to this beautiful sunset, but the directions I've been given are a little bit dodgy and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find the place. This can be teased again throughout the video to keep the viewers engaged. And then the final scene can be you at the sunset. This is the reward, the resolution. Now, we will dive a little deeper into storytelling in a later lesson because, as I said, this is the most important element. Next up, we need to talk about the shots that you are getting. A travel video should be very visually pleasing. People are watching to get a feel for the place that you're in. So getting a variety of shots is really important. An example of this is, say you're riding a motorcycle through the countryside somewhere. Instead of just having a camera mounted to your chest or to your handlebars or something like that, mix it up. Get a variety of different shots. Pull over on the bike, set up your camera, and ride through the shot. If you have a drone, you can throw the drone up in the air and let it hover in one place and ride through the shot. This will really help your video have much more of a cinematic feel and not become repetitive and boring. A little hack that you can do for this is you ride through the camera shot one way, you ride back through it the other way, and you can use that in a later shot. Same with the drone, you put it up and hover one way, you ride through it. You can then turn the drone around and get the same shot again. Getting a bunch of these and then you can mix it all up in the edit really enhances your videos. Some shots that you will definitely want to use are wide establishing shots. These are great at the beginning to show where you are and give the audience a feel for the place that you're in. Then we have close-in personal shots. These feel like a conversation between you and the audience, and this is a great place for you to share your feelings or your experience about the trip that you're having. Then we have the walking vlogging style. This can give a real sense of urgency or adventure, and really great for sharing your thoughts and your perspectives on the go. Then we have first-person shots. This is where you can show what you're experiencing. These are great for walking places or doing something like purchasing tickets or something where you're a little bit busy and preoccupied. Then we have setup shots, one of my favorites. This is where you'll put the camera down to film something that you're doing. This gives the viewer a really cinematic feel, like they're watching a movie. And then we have the cinematic B-roll, and this is very important for travel videos. This will tell the story of your travels, and this can be a mix of static, moving, and you can even throw in drone shots if you like. In lesson 2, we'll go through these in much more detail, and we'll talk about how to use these shots and where to place them in your video to be most effective in the storyline. Now it's time to talk about something that really excites me. Let's talk about gear. The essential gear for travel video filmmaking is basically a camera, a microphone, and ideally a drone. So when it comes to gear, what do you need to buy? How much do you need to spend? Does gear really even matter? Let me show you a real world example. This that you are watching right now is shot on my Sony. This has a really nice lens on it. This is about a $2,000 setup. This that you'll be looking at, this is coming through a DJI Action 4. These are incredibly affordable. They start at around $300 to $400, and the image that comes out of them is fantastic. And then possibly my favorite option, this is being shot on an iPhone, and this is an iPhone 12 Pro Max. This isn't even the latest iPhone. I think they're up to the iPhone 16 now. So this is quite a few years old. I have a friend that has close to 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and he still uses an iPhone 11. As you can see from all these cameras, the image is actually really nice and actually quite consistent throughout. The main thing that you'll want to take into consideration is, can you shoot in 4K? Because you pretty much need to shoot everything in 4K these days. All 3 of these examples can do that. So that's basically all you need. So what do you need for a camera? My advice is get whatever is within your budget. Action cams and pocket cams are great, but also a phone with a good camera is definitely good enough to get started. When choosing a camera, choose what's within your budget. Don't overspend. I think the only minimum requirements that you will want is that it shoots in 4K. Next up is audio, and this is super important, possibly even more important than the camera. People will forgive a slightly lower quality image, but bad audio can be really annoying and make a video unwatchable. So right now I am filming on 2 cameras side by side. This GoPro does not have a microphone attached, but the DJI I have a directional mic on, and you can hear the difference in audio quality right away. Now where you really notice this is if I turn away from the traffic, now the directional microphone is not picking up the sounds of the cars behind me as much. You're still going to get a little bit. However, the camera without the microphone, you can hear the cars just as much as if I was facing the other way. There are various different types of microphones that you can use, and you can't really go wrong if you use major brands like DJI, Rode, Boya, and other reputable brands. The style of microphone is completely up to your personal preference. I personally like directional microphones because I don't like seeing them mounted on people. But the advantage with a clip-on microphone is you can be quite far away from the camera and still have your audio picked up. Again, this is just a matter of personal preference. Now for one of my favorite pieces of gear, drones. Drones can add a really interesting element to your travel videos. Which drone you choose will depend entirely on your preferences and what your needs are. Personally, I have always used DJI. I think they're the leading drone company. Currently, I use a DJI Mini because they are tiny, as you can see here, and they don't take up much room in my bag. This is a look at the DJI Mini 1, and you can see it's smaller than my phone. I recommend doing a little research on drones to see what fits you and your situation best. For me, it was size. I want the smallest drone that I can fit in my backpack, which is why I went with the DJI Mavic Mini. A nice bonus is these are also really affordable. Choosing an editing software and editing your own engaging travel videos. The editing is the most important part of putting your video together. It doesn't matter how good your gear is, how beautiful the locations are. If you can't edit the video in a way that entertains the viewer, the rest is just a waste. So let's take a look at Wondershare Filmora. Filmora is a leading video editing software that has so many features that will help enhance your travel videos. Here you can see how simple and user-friendly this layout is and how many amazing features there are available. My favorite thing about this software is how simple the layout is. It's not confusing at all and very easy to learn. Some of the tools I love to use in my videos are titles, voice to text, subtitles. This section up here, I'm doing some subtitles because I was having a conversation in Thai. Welcome to Bangkok, Thailand. Today I am in the beautiful Lumpini Park and I'm going to take you on a tour through the city to show you not just how awesome this place is, but also how affordable it can be. I also used color grading, some cool transitions, as well as sound engineering to make sure your videos are of the highest quality. Throughout this series, I will show you how I use Filmora to edit my videos, and we will even deep dive into all the advanced techniques I use that can help take your videos to the next level. So thank you for watching lesson 1. Get ready for lesson 2 as we dive into how you can make the best high quality travel videos. I'm Adam, and thank you for using Wondershare Filmora.